So today we're working in JBL's Venue Synthesis software. We will be designing our arrays based off of measurements that I input today. We did the basic design yesterday. Today we are going to fine-tune that design using actual in-room measurements. So I always like to start on the sides. What it looks like is that this is going to be a two-level bowl. In the drawing yesterday, I only saw one level. But we're going to have to modify this drawing and turn it into a two-level bowl. We're going to start just by taking measurements. This disto has distance and an angle measurement on it, which is what we use in the software for our 3D design within the room. Yesterday, I had created this plane thinking it was just one plane. We're going to change that into two planes, and then we'll end up adding another plane above that, another special object. So I've positioned myself relatively in the center of the room. I am pretty darn close. Right now, this tabletop is 2.5 feet tall. So we will input our rangefinder height at 2.5. Let's look at some distance. That wall is 4310, 43.1 at 0 degrees. The top of our seating plane is on this staircase. Remember, when we're doing a seating plane, you want to shoot the bottom edge of the seating plane, not the top of the seat. 83.1, 83.07, and our angle on that is 9.7 degrees. Let's add a new straight plane. Distance angle 2.5 feet. So the bottom of our seating plane is roughly, we're going to go with 94 feet at 15 degrees, 94.25, 15 degrees. Top of our seating plane. We're gonna again shoot the staircase. 141.3 at 21 degrees. So 141.25, 21 degrees. We'll adjust our width on here. Based off of the drawing, we're going to make a guess of 150. That's pretty close. This is not looking super accurate. That angle does actually look right within the room. From here, we're just going to do a bunch of mirroring. So our lower bowl, rename this Lower bowl, stage left. Rename this upper bowl, stage left. We created this lower bowl, stage left yesterday. We're going to delete that, do some mirroring, mirror across, upper bowl, we will mirror across. That looks like our sides are fairly accurate. Quick rename on these, lower bowl, stage right. Upper bowl, stage right. From here we can again make some estimations. We can tell from our upper bowl measurements that our point is 53.12 feet in the air. So for our curve, we'll change our height to 53.12 feet in the air. That's going to get us a top point that is very similar. From here, all of this looks fairly accurate for what's happening in the room. Just to finish the modeling of the arena, we'll go ahead and mirror this. Curve, front of house. Rename this to the curve. Curve on the stage end. Now we have seating planes on the sides, seating planes on the ends. Now we have something that we can do our acoustic predictions with. After this, we aren't doing any more measuring in the room. We're just doing work on the laptop. We're going to be adjusting our arrays, going for some even coverage across the seating planes, try and put some pretty colors on the screen. So let's take a look at what's actually happening here. We'll look at some mapping. We'll see the general coverage of our arrays. We can tell we are not covering the top. We're gonna have to change that up. People like to sit up top. I don't know why. You don't see the show very well from up there. Let's do some work here. Pop over into 2D. We'll work on our main PA. From 2D, we can tell we are not seeing very much. I like to start with an auto splay. Auto splay rarely works well. You can see all these low degree angles down here, bunch of 0.25s. That is not functional for us at all. Let's fix all of this. At the bottom, we're going to do a couple 10s. I know that that's going to happen. From here, I like to look at the distance between the rays along the seating planes. I would love for each ray to cover roughly the same amount. We're just throwing some numbers in here for right now. We'll come back and adjust these. momentarily. Since Autosplay did a fantastic job there, we're gonna have to do some fixing. All right, that's getting a little closer. I also like to look at my SPL over distance. I want to see a nice straight line on my fall off. We're going to need to tighten things up through here. Maybe spread some things out through here. Let's start in this area. Let's decrease the angle on these. I always like to be progressive in my arrays. Rarely do I want to go back or have a smaller angle underneath a larger angle. So I'm not going to make this into a 1 or a 0.5. That typically does not give me the results that I need, that I'm looking for. That's looking pretty good. Change that back to a 1.5. Now I have a pretty nice slope, pretty nice fall off here. Very rarely are we going to have the same amplitude from the front of the array all the way to the end of the seating plane. We are going to add just a little bit of overshoot to this. Try and cover that top region just a bit more. Come back and look at our amplification. Everything we're doing is in 2 box zones. We can look at, if we drop this off a couple dB here, now we don't want to use DSP to try and cut this all the way down to make it flat. Remember, our subs are going to be right in the front row. So if we have too flat of a response across the seating plane, the people in the front are going to be slammed by the subs and not have enough top end to keep up with the subs that are right in front. Subs are going to have a natural roll off across the seating planes as well, so we don't want to do too much work cutting too much with the DSP. From here, we'll shift over to our wing, follow the same procedure. Now, when we do this autosplay, it's going to try and put a break in coverage right here. We don't want a break in coverage. If we go back to our 3D view, you'll see that the break that's in the seating will end up in different parts of the array. So if we try and calculate for that, there's a great tool here that shows 45 degrees off axis what this is going to look like. So that break ends up in different parts of the array. So we're going to ignore this break here, just make a nice steady curve going across our SPL over distance. following a similar pattern that we did with the main array. All right, so we've gone through and we've adjusted some of our angles here. We're again trying to get kind of even coverage across the seating plane. We might dip a little bit on that bottom zone. Let's take a look at our 3D direct SPL now. Some things we are likely going to notice is going to be, I like to do this A-weighted so that we're actually seeing the HF coverage. We're going to see a pretty hot spot on the side of the arena. On this tour, I've been rolling off the wings about 4 to 6 dB on a daily basis. Yeah, we can see that that's real hot right in this area. So let's gain our wing down. Let's start with 5 and see what that does. That's looking all right. We have about 3 dB of roll off. Maybe if we zoom in, we can actually hit a hot spot and see if there's... All right. So across our entire seating plane, we have about 6 dB of roll off. Let's see what our wing looks like. Not too bad. We do still have a little bit of an area of summation between the wing and the main PA. I have my wings off center about 60 degrees. We still have that little area of summation. That'll be just fine once people are in the room. This looks like we're doing all right. Doing all right. Let's check out our mechanics. Our wing has too much weight on the front point, not enough weight on the rear. Go ahead and swap that around. That's looking a lot better. Nice and even weight there. Our main hang, we're using a delta plate on our rear. I'm going to shift that to a C as well, just to move a little bit of weight onto the rear point. That's looking pretty good. Pretty good. From here, we're going to hit our QR codes in ArrayLink and deploy our PA. As always, we're not striving for perfection with this. There's the law of diminishing returns. I could spend another half hour trying to get absolute perfection within our heat map. But I don't think that we're going to see massive amounts of improvement with additional time. We might see a little bit of an improvement here and there. I don't do a whole lot in LACP, primarily because I've been using very similar EQs every day within Performance Manager. So I don't want to modify this and then have to redo all of the EQs that I'm ending up with on a daily basis within Performance Manager. So I try and get even coverage across the seating planes. After that, I do my work in Performance Manager. I hope this helps some of y'all. As always, reach out with questions. I love teaching, I love explaining, I love showing folks what I've done in the past, what works for me. what works for me might not work for you. And every situation has its variables that are going to throw a wrench in what your plan was. Like this morning, I didn't realize this was 2 seating planes in the room, so we had to modify a little bit on site. But we made it work, and we're gonna have a fantastic show tonight. Thanks for checking out this video. The link to my website, Instagram, etc. will be in the link below. Have fun out there. Good luck. Stay safe.